And ladies and gentlemen, part two of our Talking Politics at the Club at Shadow Lakes from the Center Township Planning Office. He's the development coordinator, Frank Vesio. Frank, you've been really involved in politics in one form or another for many years, and you've seen many presidential campaigns. And the reason I wanted you to come here tonight, because I wanted to kind of go back in time before we talk about what's happening now with the Democratic ticket. I remember, and I've been in this business, meaning media, long enough to know how wonderful this country was, in my opinion, when Bill Clinton was president.
Yes.
We had a balanced budget, people were working, and it just seemed to be the way everybody would hope a country could be this significant. Still the greatest country in the land, but back then it was kind of like the cherry on the sundae. And I know you, like me, both have an opinion that it would be in their best interest to make Hillary Clinton the nominee. Now I know Bernie Sanders still working very hard, true patriot and a wonderful senator. But explain to the audience why, when you look at the time that Bill Clinton was in office, she being the First Lady, she goes on to become Senator from New York, Secretary of State, why a lot of that, I believe, with Bill Clinton at her side, I'm sure advising and helping if need be, that it would be a good fit for the Democratic Party to nominate her. And with the April 26th primary coming up in Pennsylvania, I thought we should just talk a little bit about what she brings to the table.
It's all about experience. Right. She's been there. If anyone else gets in there, Bernie Sanders, he has to start all over again. Right. She knows the players. She knows what's going on. She goes in there. It's not like I need 90 days to figure out what I'm doing. She's going to go in there and start doing what she knows because she's had that past experience.
When you think about what this country needs most, and we were talking a little roundtable discussion in between our video shoots with Melissa, I understand the significance of what's happening with ISIS. I understand the significance of immigration and why people might be concerned. But what I see, it's about taking care of your own backyard. And in our backyard, we have right now, because of the good folks at Shell, over, or at least close to $500 million of money already invested in the infrastructure. They have not made a commitment one way or the other if they're going to build this proposed petrochemical plant, in which billions more will be spent. Some 6,700 construction workers, boots on the ground for years, will be working within that 10-mile radius. All of the plants that will come after that. I've talked to people who are very smart about development. Pat Nardell, Chuck Vetters. You look to the future, the 25-year shelf, that job shelf, and how that will also, I believe, become a wave of manufacturing throughout western Pennsylvania and eventually go coast to coast.
You're going to go from a steel industry that we lost in the 80s and done and lost 17,000 jobs with J&L LTV to a petrochemical business and all the support business that goes with it. And that's what people don't understand. They don't know how big it is. If this thing would explode, it's not only just a Shell cracker plant, there's going to be other downstream businesses that are going to support it. And I don't think the people of Beaver County or Western Pennsylvania know what an impact this is going to be.
Well, this is your profession. You develop property. Mr. Betters, Mr. Nardelli does. The people that are hired because of that, it's tremendous. Look, we need to bring the middle class back to America. You and I grew up when middle class was what we were and why we were thriving, why there was a Main Street. But it gets back to what I was saying earlier. That's why I want the people of Pennsylvania to pay close attention to these people running for presidency, because all of the things that I mentioned that, yes, you need to be concerned about, I believe the bullseye is putting people back to work. And whatever candidate, whatever party can do that, my opinion, that's what we need.
Well, that's what they should look at these candidates and see what they're for. I mean, right now we have the Utica and Marcellus gas under the ground here, and we have it. It's not going to go anywhere. We have a good chance of sending this to Europe or everywhere else. This is a new product for Pennsylvania. We did steel for how many years? Steel's gone. You know, Japanese steel, whatever we got. This is a new business, and I think we have to exploit it. So whatever party you're looking at, find out what the candidates think. See if they support this.
Just because that's happening there along the Ohio River, and they're developing all of that property, folks, you just have to come 376 and see it for yourself. Talk about why what they're doing is good business for development and how it's affected you guys in Center Township.
Well, the biggest thing is, before we had 376, we had Route 60, Pennsylvania. When I started this job 10 years ago, whatever, after I retired from Sears, I used to talk to someone in Texas. We were on Route 60, Pennsylvania. Where are you? We don't even know where you're at. 376 was a big deal. Put us on the map. It's federal highway. When Shell said they were coming to the intersection of 376 and Route 18, it now put us on the map again. No one looked at Beaver County or Center Township before. I mean, they actually, we're going to go there now. There's a bullseye there. So what is Center Township? Right now we have 7 hotels. We're going to have 9 before it's all over. For 20 years when I was supervisor, we tried to get 1 hotel. We couldn't get anyone interested to come. Now we're going to have 9. So why are they spending due diligence and spending money on hotels? Because they know it's going to be an impact. Why is Chuck Betters building apartments? Why is Pat Nardelli building what he's building?
Up by the Beaver Valley
They're building
Mall.
it for the future because they see the future for the next 10 or 15 years and the benefit's going to be for Beaver County and themselves as developers.
Look what Columbia Gas, President Mark Kempick, what they've done with the training facility. Multi-millions of dollars being invested. You think about Heritage Valley Health System. Norm Mitri, who is the CEO there, our largest employer in Beaver County, to have the hospital that we have, state-of-the-art, how we have some of the amazing river communities, I think, anywhere in this state, all ready to go. Downtown Beaver, which is literally a few miles from the job site, where people are going to be able to live if they need to shop and to worship. I just see so many exciting things happen again. And when I go to work in the morning and I see them out there under floodlights with Caterpillar equipment at 3 in the morning, that's telling me that there is hope. That's why this presidential election is so important.
It is very important.
Do you think these candidates understand that? What's happening here?
Specifically, I'm not sure if they understand what's happening here because it's, national and they haven't looked at Pennsylvania.
But this
yet.
has national implications, wouldn't you agree?
It does, and I can't see either party wanting to quash it, to tell you the truth. I mean, when Wolf got in, the first thing I did was ask Shell, we have a new governor, how's that work? We've already talked to the governor, we're fine.
He understands, he wants people
So,
to
I
work.
mean, no matter what party is going to be in, they see its business is going to, Shell's going to spend money here, and they are spending money here, and it's a benefit to both parties, really.
We're talking to Frank Vesio, Center Township Planning Office. He's the development coordinator. Just a couple of more moments here with you. I know I like to think big, but I have 3 kids. One will be 26, one will be 17, both birthdays this month. The daughter will turn 15 in July. I just want them to have the opportunities that we did. If we decide that we want to stay here, fine. And you know what? College isn't for everyone. I just want people to be able to get a degree, one of our many public high schools, wherever they may go into the job market and have a life-sustaining job for 30 years. As long as you hold up your part of the bargain, go to work, give them an honest 8 hours for an honest day's work and pay, this America that we live in will not just be great again, it'll be fantastic again. And I see that possibility every day with the Shell petrochemical plant. But what do we do with oil being $25 a barrel? I've heard it's got to be $38 to break even, okay? And I know people like the lower prices at the pump, but hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people are employed in the oil industry. We need to find that balance, Frank.
It'll taper off. They're going to find a bottom. I think the bottom's pretty well clear there down there. I think you're going to find a bottom at $30, $35, whatever it's going to be. And I think that's our trigger. It depends on what OPEC's going to do, how they can stop some of these people, for some of their quotas and stuff like that. And I feel the same way about you, about your kids. We have lost so much youth in the last 20 years because there was no sustainable jobs here, and it makes me sick. It really
How many graduation parties did you go to in the last 20? And they'd say, I'm out of here.
Well, I'm fortunate. I only lost one daughter. She's at Cape Cod, and my other 2 are
Not
here.
a bad place to live.
My other 2 are here. So, but I've known families that their kids are gone.
Let me give you some credit though. What you've done, you have really not just kept it afloat. You kept it thriving, Center Township, through some difficult times. This amazing school merger. I'm going to give you the final minute just to talk about things that have happened in Center Township and things that will be happening.
Well, what we did in Center Township, we actually had a shopping district, and we exploited the shopping district and the expressway, the interchange. We didn't have anything else. We didn't have a river. We didn't have anything like that. So what we did, we looked at what could we possibly do, and I was a supervisor to bring business here. So to take the barriers out, our planning commission, which is fantastic, started doing a good comprehensive plan and good zoning. And then we adopted a policy of a developer coming in, and instead of giving them month after month, come back and bring your projects in and giving them a hard time, We sat down with him before planning and devised what he needed to do to come to planning to get it done. So that's worked. So we've done that, and we're now all pro-business, and everybody knows that. We give them the rules right up front. They know what it is. They come in and they get the project, and they get the project done, and that's helped a lot.
Well, I'm going to tell you this too. I'm still the biggest fan of our Beaver Valley Mall, and I remember that dawn of a new era back in 1970, and I still feel as good today about this region as I did then. But it was still in the midst of the steel industry back then. All that was happening. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can return to those days and even have better days ahead. Listen, you do what you need to do, and you have the right, and that's your obviously God-given right to vote for whomever. All I'm doing is just giving you some food for thought, and more importantly, so we can keep moving forward in this region. I want to thank you very much, Frank.
You're welcome.
Thank my friend Jimmy Maganello and everybody here at the Club at Shadow Lakes, and Melissa Hart as well, who really, forward thinker, 376 when she was in office, Crow's Run when she was in office. She's an amazing friend. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great rest of the night and enjoy your Wednesday. Good night.